Well, hey, y'all. Seems I had Mr. Yates' attention all night last night. And I know that with his pickled brain, he is not going to be able to comprehend a bit of what I say here. So I'm not wasting my time on John Yates today. This is all for y'all. Now, those of you from OG Fan Club, y'all know I ain't Christy. You were there. But there's a lot of new people here. So I wanted to talk to y'all. Now, his whole boom moment was when Crack Elf account was created. And it very coincidentally came up a few months after Christy asked him out. But here's the thing. My first account on Reddit was a Crack Elf. I told him, and he started reading the comment, but he stopped because anytime there's something that proves him wrong or makes him look stupid, he don't want to hear it. He likes to stick to his own created reality and just believe the lie. So, what I was trying to tell him was that I started off as Guess Who I Saw. Now, I know you OGers remember that. It was over a year that's who I was. And in that time, how we started out was back then he wasn't even on YouTube yet. I think he had a YouTube, but he never used it. It didn't get views. It wasn't monetized. He would take some of his Instagram interviews and throw them on there, but they didn't hardly have no views or nothing. Everything he did back then was on Instagram. He had some Twitter days, but that's long before my time. So anyway, he would do the most vile, hideous things on Instagram deep in the night, and then he'd delete them. And back then, he had so much cast support. That cast support that he brags about now, that doesn't exist now, it did exist then, I'll give him that. He would make these little posts and send them around and the cast would repost it to promote him. Now y'all excuse my allergies. They're mowing the lawn today, they already did the front, and now they're doing the back, but my nose is dying. My nose does not like grass. But anyway, he was terrorizing people like crazy. It was so ugly. And most people, he'd do it at his crack hours. And most people had no idea that's what he was doing. So these people were promoting this man who was just the absolute devil at night. And they had no idea. Nobody was keeping track. And at that time, he had a huge following. That's the glory days he's always trying to relive. And during that time, I forget which season of 90 Day. Y'all, I don't even watch that stupid show. I'm sorry, I don't want to be offensive, but that's an old people show. Me and my friends don't watch that. My gran used to watch it, and sometimes I'd see little bits and pieces when I'd be around her in my living room, but usually I'd just put on my headphones or just play with my phone or something. So I know some of the old characters when she used to watch it, she don't even watch it no more, because it just got too crazy. But anyway, there was a season where that Larissa and that blonde girl, I forget her name, she looked like her name was Amy. I don't remember. She married a guy from the islands, and she ended up sending ice after him or something, and y'all, I can't remember. He used to cry about her and say he walked red carpets with her, because I think she invited him to some stupid little reality TV event, and there was a red carpet, but he made it sound like he was walking outside the Kodak Theater in Hollywood or something. But what was her name, y'all? I can't remember. She looks like an Amy, though. I don't know why I think that, but and she said she had lupus. That's it. She said she had lupus. But during that time, he made some friends with some of the worst people on there. And the reason they befriended him is because they looked awful on the show. People didn't like them. And they couldn't take it because they thought they was going to come on there and become stars and everybody was going to love them. And then they didn't look so great and people didn't like them and were calling them out. So they would run to John because John was the only blogger out there who was willing to just put out any lie that any nasty cast member came to and told him. If they went to legitimate sources, those people will not post something without sources. But John will. So if they wanted to tell a lie, if they wanted to spin a particular narrative, that was the only place they could go, and so that's where they went. So they would tell him all this stuff. Larissa was popped a pimple on her face and smeared some blood around and said that Colt had assaulted her. Turned out she went to court, and she's the one with charges. But he spun it all as Larissa, and he helped her with a GoFundMe, and he helped the lupus lady with the GoFundMe, and then he was helping Ricky. And that's what he became. And everybody thought, oh, he's got exclusive sources. Oh, he's the exclusive 90-day man. And they believed it. But then later, when he turned on these people, the truth would come out. That he'd been lying for him all along. And once that happened, he lost his credibility. And he lost his following. But in the meantime, when he would go nuts in the night and say all these vile things, we would record it. And we'd play it on Fan Club. And this is long before Julie. Before anybody came along fighting his battles. So there was nothing he could do at the time to take it down. But we had it all, and we would contact cast, and we would send them links so they could see the videos of the vile stuff he was doing, what he was actually doing. And it was our work on the original fan club that lost him his cast support. And that is a fact. Long before the cancel John Yates thing came along, that's what it was. Us talking to and sending links to the cast members who used to support him. And them seeing him turn on Danielle, and turn on Lupus Lady, and turn on Ricky, And the random people he'd attack, either other bloggers or people who spoke out against him, people he fought with from Twitter. He was doing all that doxing and putting out people's work information and telling his hags to go and report these people. The same stuff he does now. He was doing that then. And when the cast saw it, he lost their support. Now, a few cast members held on. Tiffany held on a long time. Corey and Evelyn held on a long time. You know, kind of the more pathetic ones that nobody liked. But even Larissa, after all he did for her, she started to slowly distance herself and then just completely cut him off. And that's where he is today. He's got Angela because she's the vilest, most horrible woman that's ever been on that show. And she needs a man like John to spin her narrative like he just recently did with Michael. So that's the history of Fan Club. Now he says, I'm Christy, because When Your Crack Elf was made. And he showed when Christy ghosted him. Now first of all, y'all heard her voice. She has a husky, raspy, and that thing like raking where they all sound like they really, really, truly need to clear their throats, but they never, ever will. I can't stand that. I can't listen to that. It's like, how do you not feel that? How do you not clear your throat? Just clear your damn throat. Her accent is not strong. Now, mine's a little weaker than it used to be since I spent 9 months in Boston. And I stood out a lot there because of it. So I kind of picked up, you know, they make fun of me because I tried to say you guys and I'd say y'all guys. And, you know, anyway, that's not the point. But the point is, before I was Crack Elf, I was Guess Who I Saw. And now he's like, well, show it. We'll prove it. Well, you moron. You sit there bragging about all the fan clubs you got taken down, you and Fat Man Julie. It's gone. But you know what I found? The first song I made was in 2020. It was in December, and it was a Crackness song, and it was awful. But it was hilarious because that year, a lot had happened. And I took the 12 days of Christmas, and I made it 12 days of Crackness. And I took the top 12 things that had happened that year and made it into a song. But you know what? There was no Crack Elf yet. Because that was the first song I made. I didn't call myself Crack Elf yet. I was just Guess Who I Saw. And that Reddit's gone, but guess what? On the video I took, because they started reporting Fan Club, I went in and I recorded the video so that I could keep it. And guess what pops up at the end? My account name. Guess Who I Saw. Right there. It wasn't until I started making songs regular and calling myself Crack Elf in the songs that I decided to make an account called Crack Elf. And then I did. So that's why I'm not Crack Elf until June. And if you have 2 Reddit accounts on the same device and you like the same posts or comment on the same posts with those accounts, Reddit will kill them. They will permanently ban you for that. So I deleted Guess Who I Saw. And I just used your Crack Elf. Now, I don't have sock accounts anywhere. I've always kept one account, and that's it. All my accounts, wherever I make them, are always Crack Elf. I don't understand the need for more than one. So y'all know if you see me, that's who I am. But anyway, that just coincided by coincidence with his falling out with Kristy. Now, Kristy and him, what he didn't tell y'all is that he'd had a huge falling out with her already. I think he'd called her kids hillbilly. He loves to say that name. So insulting. But anyway, they'd had a falling out and then they made up. And it happened, their making up happened while we had the original fan club, which you can also see that here. See that? It's John Yates Fan Club. Doesn't have anything before or after it. That's the original. The one I made with my friends back in 2019. But there I was, just like I said. Now I got this screenshot from my YouTube. A video I posted a long time ago. No way I could have altered it. It's been posted. Once you post on YouTube, all you can do is delete parts of your video. You can't go in and change it or put something over it. So y'all are welcome to go look at my YouTube, find this song, and find this screen grab at the end of the video. This is not something I just made. This is not something new. It's been on my YouTube all this time. Now, y'all have followed me through my college experience. And y'all know the first 4 years, I was home with my gran. I went to a local college for my undergrad schools. I was very clear about that. I would talk about being home with gran. This past year was my first year away in my postgrad studies. Those of y'all who I messaged with from time to time, y'all knew that. And I was never going to tell where I was. But Jules went live doing this same thing, trying to slow my voice down, blah, 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 and prove that I was Christy. And I heard about it. I don't watch Jules. She tried when she was on the outs with John to send me messages on Instagram, and I didn't want to play with that. I knew one day she'd be back with John. And I just couldn't do that. Same reason I didn't mess with Siwa. There's certain people you can just look at them and know. But anyway, she was apparently online, altering my voice and trying to prove I was Christy. And I just got so mad. So I went live on my Instagram. I did a printout of the thumbnail of Jules' live that she had done to try to say that I was Christy. I printed it out, I laminated it, and I walked outside the square on the opposite side of where I lived, far away from any teaching building or anything associated with me, in a park, and I went live on Instagram, and I recorded the little Jules thing I laminated, and myself talking. I did it live to prove I was not in Kentucky. I was in Boston. Now, I didn't do it inside the school grounds because I didn't want to risk seeing somebody I knew and them asking, what you doing? Or them hollering out my name or something while I was live. So I went to the park and I went live to prove my location. And the next day, while I was walking around, I took that same laminated paper and recorded myself in a bookstore. Remember at that time they were protesting in the major colleges? Well, because of the protest, you had to have a student ID to get through the gates. So I took some quick pictures of me behind those gates where you couldn't get into if you're not a student. Look it up. I know John and his hags have no idea what's going on in the world, but it's very easy to Google it and find out. Look at the date I posted it and look at what was going on in the news on that day. So ridiculous. And just took some pictures. And I didn't do that live because I didn't want to bump into somebody who would not know what I was doing, say my name on a live. I didn't want my friends getting looked up and doxxed. There was a person I recognized, I blurred out her face in the pictures because I didn't want nothing coming to her. But I'm not stupid. I'm not going to sit there and show y'all my papers or show y'all the buildings where I had classes or the library where I studied. And you know what? I'm not there. It's summer, you moron. You went to school, you know you're off in summer. I'm not there. I'm home. Everybody knows that. And as far as him saying something about spending 24 hours a day, sir, look at my posts. This last year about killed me. It was so hard. I was hardly online. And you know what? At the beginning, that first year, I was in school. When I first started, I was ending high school and in the summer before college. And then my first year was pretty easy. And like I said, I was local. And then you know what happened in the middle of my college year? COVID. We were home. We were doing online courses. Everything was closed. Couldn't go nowhere. There was nothing to do. So that's why when you see me through the COVID time, I was on there a lot. Now those fan clubs are gone, but I'll admit I was on there a lot, but there was nothing else to do, you know? And that year he acted up like such a fool. It was like we had Tiger King and we had John Yates, both equally crazy. But just like how many millions of people were entertained by the Tiger King during COVID, it was the same thing. Some crazy fool acting out for the world to see. So yeah, during COVID, I was on there a lot. But then we went back to in-person schooling and I slowed way down. And you know what? The only reason I was able to keep up with anything was your good old friend Geneva. I know she told you it was just a couple weeks she was doing that, but she was recording every stinking live. No matter what time at night. I go to bed like a normal person. I wake up and there would all that stuff be. And you know what else? People send me stuff. They'll send me timestamps and say, oh, he said this, he said that. They'll send me clips. If I didn't have time to make a clip myself, it was all right. Somebody sent it to me and I could make stuff out of it. Thanks to your buddy, Geneva. And this went on a long, long time. It wasn't no few weeks. Fan club was shut down. When that first one shut down, we didn't make a new one. Cottage Boys, and I don't know who Cottage Boys is. I never talked to that person. But Geneva did. They were good friends. So Cottage Boys, and I think it was Geneva and maybe Mims, I'm not sure. They ran that one. And at one point, us OG fan clubbers got really mad at them because they weren't running it right and they had taken our name. And I publicly said something about it because I said, if you're going to take our name, you better do this right. And then a bunch of us quit them over them deleting the Valjean post or something like that. Which, by the way, if he knew who Valjean was, he would die. Valjean's a real true celebrity, not some 90-day person. It's so funny, John, talking about the cast. Oh, I go to the houses of the cast and all this with the cast. And John Yates, you are the only person on earth who thinks these people are celebrities. These are idiots on a reality TV show that millions of people around the world make fun of. They are not celebrities. And who's had you in their homes? The convicts. Jeffrey, Paul, Angela. You've hung out with the worst of the worst. That ain't no brag. Most of us wouldn't step a toe in those homes or have them in ours. So it ain't no brag. They are not celebrities. But anyway, I digress. So at that time, after COVID, my courses, I started taking much more intense courses. So I barely watched him. I didn't have time. And like I said, we had a private John Yates fan club. It was something about Vault. And that's where Geneva would share her links to everything. And so I get the videos and I'd put something together real quick. This stuff don't take me long. He's like, oh, she spends weeks writing a song. But, sir, I can write and record a song in an hour. But anyway, so I make these things thanks to Geneva because I certainly didn't have time to be up at night recording that stuff. Well, then Geneva, I guess, started acting out. I wasn't around much. I don't even know what happened. But I remember I was mad that people wanted to put her out because I'm like, well, she's our source of videos. I'd never socialized with her. I never messaged with her. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't care. So at first I sided with her. I was like, this is stupid. I don't care who fights with who. You know, let's just get this done. But then eventually she showed herself and I was like, wow, y'all were right. When she showed up on John's panel, I was like, whew, y'all were right. But anyway, and then you'll notice I barely posted anything then. I didn't have time. I certainly wasn't going to go record. And then Cooch started doing her live, so there was no point. She had it covered and I was busy. I wasn't doing John 24 hours. I wasn't doing anything John related to 24 hours a day. I barely posted anything. But lately I've been posting again. You know why? Because school ended. I'm home. I got free time. Last summer, I barely did anything because I was interning. It was a very intense year. And that whole salad thing that's so far up his butt, y'all, I made a salad. I don't know what it's been, something like 8 months ago now. And he's talking about I zoomed in. I did not zoom in, sir. I took a post on Fan Club that someone had posted where he had shown his salad because he loves to brag about his salad. How many times have y'all seen him brag about the salad and hold his phone to his bowl and show his salad? Now, y'all know soup salad's been a thing for years. It's one of the songs I made a long time ago, Soup Salad. It's a running joke on the fan club. That last fan club we had that just went down, they named it, Coaster named it Soup Salad Lovers Edition. It's a running joke. So one day, I was making salad, and it was so pretty, and I thought, I'm going to post this. So I found that post on Reddit with the zoomed-in picture of his salad, and I put that up next to mine. And I made a quick video about the salad, and that was that. The OGers liked it, they understood it, they laughed at it. We all went on with our lives. Something like 6 months later, he found it and lost his mind. Did hours and hours, and Cody in the background screaming, saying he'd seen that salad somewhere online and it wasn't mine and it was stock photos and blah, blah, blah. And I responded, and I'm like, y'all, the stock photos are the nasty vegetables that I would never buy, but the actual salad is mine. And he went on and on for hours, demanding that I go in my kitchen and make a video showing myself make the salad. Do y'all remember that? He told me to make a video making the salad to prove it was mine. He demanded it. So I did it. And then he goes on, how many videos she gonna make about this salad? She's so obsessed with my salad. Sir, you told me to. So I did. But you know what's funny? He could never bring himself to show that video. You know why? Because I proved him wrong. And I made him feel stupid. He's always acting like, Cody's always like, I know food. He said it so many times in that video, I know food. No, you don't. Y'all saw some peppercorns and thought they were mushrooms and garbanzo beans. Y'all don't know food. And he's like, that's not her salad. And then I showed, yes it is, I made it. And I made another one right in front of the camera and posted it. And it was beautiful too. And it wasn't stock photos. But he could never go back and show that. He never did. He told me to do it. And I did it. But he could never go back and show it. The only thing he can say is, she zoomed in on my salad and then put a bunch of stock photos. No, sir. No, sir. Completely wrong. And now he's telling me to go live and show video. I already went live there. And you know what? Now I'm home. And I ain't going live from home and showing my location. And I ain't showing my Harvard papers. Because I know you want to dox me so bad. And I wasn't raised a fool. But you know what? He revealed a lot of stuff about Christy. I used to feel bad that she was getting blamed for being crack elf. But the stuff he revealed last night? That she set people up? That she alters screenshots? And when have you ever seen me alter a screenshot? I have not. I do not show DMs. I do memes. I do songs. And I would play side-by-side clips of his videos. When have you ever seen me alter any kind of screenshot? That's not what I do. I've never done that. I've never spoof-called anybody. My whole point in ever going on here was exposing a grifter, a scammer, a liar, an abuser. That's all I've ever done on there. And I didn't need to implicate anybody falsely to do that. Everything I post is John himself. So anyway, this part's to you, John. You want to go after Christy? Be my guest. I would have tried to stop you, feeling like it was my fault, except for what you let go last night. The kind of evil you and Christy did together. Have at it. She deserves it. If she was setting people up like that and willingly helping you do that. And it was great to have your admission that you were involved in stuff like that, because we've accused you of that all the time. And you've always said, I don't lie, I don't this, I don't that, I got receipts, I showed the truth. Well, now you done taught everybody that your receipts mean nothing, that you are not beneath altering a receipt and asking people's help to do it, and that you associate with the kind of people who would willingly help you alter your receipts. You did more damage to yourself last night than you know. You admitted to getting together with people and altering stuff to implicate somebody. I ain't never done anything like that. None of my stuff goes anywhere near anything like that. So have at it. Have a ball. And you know what? I'll pop me some popcorn and watch it all. Watch her go down with you. Because you know what? If she was doing that stuff with you, she deserves everything you're going to do to her. But we all saw through you. We saw how jealous you were that she was making it on Facebook, and how jealous you were that I'm in Harvard. Show your master's degree, John. You have never done it. Show your master's degree you're always talking about. And then talk about someone being a custodian or a cook in a cafeteria. Because you know what? All them custodians and all them cafeteria folks, they're making more money than you are, Mr. Famous Blogger. You're the biggest joke on YouTube, sitting there hiding out in a hotel. Did you get kicked out of Scholars? But anyway, y'all, that's enough of my time wasted on this man. I just wanted y'all to know I'm not Christy. No matter how bad this man wants me to be. And he was such a fool last night. Well, she's either Crystal or Christy, and that's it. Why? Why do I have to be one of those two people? Why? How many people are in the South? Why do I have to be Those two people. Is Crystal even is she Southern? I don't know. I don't know this woman. I don't know if Cottage Boys is someone named Crystal. I don't know. I never talked to this person. But you know who knows? Your buddy Geneva. That's who knows. Because they were friends. And she was the other person in that chat that she claimed was a long-gone person. The long-gone whistleblower, this mysterious person nobody knows. It's herself. When that fight went down, DMs were shared. And that was Geneva. And you know why Reagan knows how I altered my voice? I'll tell you. There was one person, and then the two cracks. And they were in this little chat. It wasn't a long time. It wasn't a big deal. And they invited me into it. And it was just funny stuff. And I felt pretty comfortable in there. But again, it was during the school year, so I didn't have a lot of time, and I was hardly in there. And someone added Reagan. I kept hearing about this Reagan, y'all. I had no idea who she was. I just knew her name would come up on Cooch's Lives and stuff. And again, like I said, I was so busy that year, I had no idea who she was. But she gets added to the chat. And of course that makes me nervous, because I don't go in chats. And I didn't know this person. The first thing she does is say that she wanted to be upfront, and she wanted us all to know what she had done. And I was like, uh-oh, we got a cuckoo lady here. What's she done? And now I'm connected to this because I'm in this chat. So she proceeds to tell us that the night of John's fake S, she had gone through his accounts, all of them, and scraped them from the very beginning of his accounts. And she had all of that. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, this is crazy. This is beyond just Geneva sacrificing every night of sleep just to record him. This is truly, as Jolene says, cuckoo bananas. And I was like, well, if I make my exit now, it's going to be very obvious why I've done it. I just made a mental note and was like, okay, there's a psychopath in this chat. Then she proceeds to tell us all she's got this drive, Google Drive or something, I can't remember. Like I said, I was super busy at the time. Anyway, she's going to share it with us. And I can't remember, did she post screenshots of it? I feel like she did, because it was the likes of which I'd never seen. It was so crazy. All I could see was red flags for miles and miles of red flags. This drive, and it was all organized, and it was crazy. I nicknamed her Geneva 2.0 on that day. And she's like, and y'all can go in, and you can this, and this looks like this, but it's really this, and all this jibber jabber. I ain't into that stuff. And I'm like, I'm not clicking nothing that this crazy lady puts out there. I wouldn't even click a screenshot from her after I saw that. And she's like, yeah, if you need this, you just do this. And I kept my distance, and I didn't barely post in that chat. But she did. She wanted to show off so bad to us cracks. Oh, look what I did. I did this and this and that. We weren't impressed, lady. We were alarmed. But yeah, it's funny. I hate to even think about what she's done, scraped off all these hags now. This woman, a leopard don't change their spots. I guess she did this in the KJ community. To be honest, I don't even know what the KJ community is. I just keep hearing about it. But apparently, this is her thing. She just goes around doing this nutty stuff. And she likes being praised. And then when the praise stops, she gets mad and throws a fit and goes somewhere else. But when I saw all that, I was like, okay, hey over there, nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm gonna be real busy now. You know, that's my reaction to that kind of stuff. Because to me, it's one thing to take his words, his filthy, evil, nasty, hideous words, and play them out there for people to see, or to take his lies and compare them to the truth. Like, for example, when he first started lying and saying he didn't take any money from Kathy, remember that? I didn't take no money from her. And then the receipts come out, and then he finally has to admit it. And I like taking that kind of stuff and showing him swearing on his eyesight and his marriage. And then I like him having to confess the truth and playing them next to each other to show that he's a liar and that he'll swear and be lying to y'all and y'all just believe it. But anyway, I ain't doing all that extra scraping, data scraping, and that is so unnecessary. That is so very unnecessary. What would you ever need any of that for? He goes through his life telling lie after lie. All you gotta do is step in at any point and collect his lies and prove it. You don't need to go back to the beginning of time and scrape everything. That is nothing but alarming behavior, and I ain't never done anything like that. The people he thinks are his haters ain't never done anything like that. It's the people closest to him have done him the most harm. And he's always talking about people making money off his name. My cracky off is not monetized. I will never monetize it. As long as it's about John, I will never monetize it. People have offered, even Kathy, before she died, because I did some videos to exonerate her and to prove he was lying on her. She offered me money. He always says, well, wouldn't y'all take if some rich woman offered you money? No, sir. I did not. People have asked me about a Cash App or a PayPal since I haven't monetized. I say I don't have anything like that set up. I don't do this for money. I don't need money. I got a trust account coming. When I turn 25, I get half. When I turn 30, I get the rest. I don't need money. But it ain't stopped me from working hard to make something of myself. If y'all knew the internship I did last summer, whew, it was hard, but it was amazing. And I got job offers already, and I ain't even graduated yet. John Yates is not my life. I have a great life. I got a great boyfriend. I had the same boyfriend for years, and he's amazing. And you know what? When I do this silly stuff, he plays right there with me. Some of my best song lines came from him. John, you ain't nothing but a Tiger King story to me. That's all. And the people around you have helped me do what I do. And guess what? Guess who's trying to make a channel and make money off of you? Reckon. She tried. I tried to support her because, like I said, everybody was all, oh, Reckon this, Reckon that. I went to one of her videos, and it was so sad. It was so sad. I had to mute because, like I said, she won't never clear her throat. How does someone keep talking with all that garble going on? It hurts my ears. I just keep screaming at my phone, clear your throat. And just all the stammering. And it sounds like she got dirty socks in her cheeks. I can't listen to that. And that she ain't never gonna make it like that. But she's using you because she couldn't make it. Not even her friends wanted to hear that. That's probably one of the reasons for the falling out. They couldn't take her lives. So now where is she? Up on your panel, poaching your hags, and you're helping her? Because you never learn. You think we're your worst enemies? We ain't never used you. All the people who are your friends now, every single one of them, they've used you. Even Julie, she gets up on your live to spew her hate with who she's mad at and direct you to who she's mad at to have you attack them for her. She posted like some kind of mad woman on her YouTube till it got taken down, and she's somewhere on Instagram doing the same thing. Occasionally I get screenshots of it. Nobody cares about her till she gets on your panel and uses you to fight her battles, and that's the truth. All your other friends sat on your panel and posted your hags, and you're still letting them back on there. And look at Reckon. Look at her. She's using you to get viewers, and you're just so stupid sitting there fighting me on that, calling me Christy. You got your worst enemies on your panel. Two slippery snakes sitting up there on your panel. And so evil, Reckon pretending to be Cooch's friend all that time. Cooch didn't never do nothing to Reckon. And she gonna sit there and put Cooch's face up for her. Put your own face, you freak. How mean can you be? Cooch didn't do nothing to you, lady. You hurt her feelings so bad. But that's who you are. But in that chat, the person was asking me how I do that song because they wanted to do a song too. And I said I changed the pitch of my voice. The rest of it I'll do with, like I said, breathing and overdoing my accent and all this. And then I increased the pitch. So y'all have at it. Have at it. I'm not Christy. I'm not nobody y'all know. And Kentucky Mattress, that nickname, that came from Reddit. Not from me, but on Original Fan Club. When he showed that live of him with her, we were having fits because they had broken off their friendship. And she was like, I'm not going back. He called my kids hillbillies. And then she did. And we were so mad because part of that was during a time he was not allowed on YouTube for some reason. He'd gotten into trouble somehow and couldn't go live, and she was letting him use her channel, and we were so mad. And somebody called her Kentucky Mattress, and then we all started calling her that. I wasn't crack elf yet. I was Guess Who I Saw, like I done showed y'all. But that's where that name came from. While she was friends with John, we was on there calling her that. But like I said, have at it. I would pop me a big old bowl of popcorn, and me and Gran will sit there and watch it happen. I ain't the least bit concerned, because now I know she's as evil as you are. So have at it. But for the rest of y'all, thanks so much for still being around and sticking by me. And like I said, when this fan club goes down, come find me on Instagram, come find me on YouTube. We don't need the links anymore on fan club like we used to. That was the only place we had it back then. But it's everywhere now. It ain't hard to Google John Yates and find something awful. We don't need Reddit for that no more. We like Reddit because we have a place to chat and laugh, and because it bothers him so much. So there will always be a new one. But y'all have a good day. I will.